Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. I went and I think I got this somewhat finished up. It's not perfect. It's not wonderful, but it works. It works. A little bit of spaghetti mess. It's very, very close to what I left it as. Just a few minor tweaks here and there. I'm going to go ahead and hook up some of these things, and I'll just kind of explain what I changed in it. Let's bring copper here and iron in here. Copper, this was doing some weird splitter thing. I made it to where it doesn't do that anymore. It's just a straight belt, goes underground here, and it's going to continue on and go on the inside of this belt over here, where it's going to join iron. Iron, what's wrong with iron? Iron is not hooked up. I tried to get all these things kind of pre-hooked up to where I just had to add the undergrounds. Apparently that did not work. Yeah, but okay, so copper comes up here and joins on one side of the belt up here where it goes down to feed the batteries. Iron, when it comes in, is going to come through here and feed the circuit machine. It's going to go underneath where it feeds the circuit machine, and then go underneath again. Go underneath again. There we go. 2 bugs already. Where it splits in half, it goes down here to feed the pipes and the gears that go on to feed the engines. These machines make really fast. Usually this probably wouldn't be enough, but these are going to spend most of their time idling because these engines take forever to make. But then the iron comes over here and joins up with the copper where it goes on to feed the batteries. The next line here is steel, which is going to go onto this line right here. And it didn't really change much. It's going to come, split off, and feed the engines, and then it's going to come down, split off, and feed the robot frames. We have coal coming up in here that's going to feed the... oh, and I didn't get an inserter here. Get an inserter. Oh, and that's not going to be powered. Let's just put one more there. That's going to feed the plastic machine, and that will make plastic. And then we have all of our fluids up here. This is actually the exit belt, which is facing the wrong way. That is now fixed. We have petroleum, we have lubricant, and we have water. All of our 3 fluids coming in here. And I wanted to make this exit belt one of these things right here. So I have them all intentionally exiting out to the same side of the belt. And so that it'll come down here and the splitter. Oh, that's on the wrong side. One more time. There we go. That'll put them on the both sides and just make it where they'll be on both sides of the belt, which is good. All right, so our plastic's making plastic. You are making sulfur, which is making sulfuric acid. It would be if it had some iron. There we go. There's strike number 3. Okay, making sulfuric acid. That lets you make batteries. Okay, so our green circuits are being made up there. They come down, split off, and join up with the red circuits. These go down to feed the actual robots themselves. Here's our steel line. The second circuit line comes down here, and I'm stuck. There we go. Comes down here, joins up with the batteries, and comes down the middle to feed both the circuits feed these guys, and the batteries just feed the guys on the right here. But we are going ahead and making robot frames, which is great. Oh. You can't. Oh. Okay, we need to get steel on the inside of this belt. And is there a good place to do that? Well, I guess we can actually do it here. Let's see if... Whoa, nope. Let's see, if you go up... There, that gets steel on that side. Is that the right side? I think it is. Yeah, that'd put it on the inside. That's where we want it. Okay, only a couple of issues, but... I think that's fine. That's going to be on the inside of the belt. They can spit out the robot frames. They come through and go down here, where they are going to... Bam! There's our first construction robot and our second construction robot. Well, as these make, if they get big enough, they'll we'll get both of them going. I think it'll balance out over time. If not, we'll have to adjust these inserters a little bit so that the construction robots just don't take them all. Right now, that looks like the case, and that's fine. That's fine, because I actually do want a lot of construction robots first. All right, let's come down here. We're making robots now. I'm pretty excited about it. Let's go grab some Roboports, and let's start getting our robot network set up. I think I want to start from, like, down here and work our way up. Let's get a good spot, like, right here. That would serve as a good place to start it off. This is why I left this area right here. This is what I call a collision bus, and we can put things like power poles and things like radar, as well as things like Roboports right there. So we have a spot to place those, and it looks like they are in a pretty good spot. Okay, right there. And right here, we'll just go ahead and cover our bus with Roboports. And, yeah, I think that's as far as we want to go for now. And we're not getting power up here. Let's, run power up. And you know what? Since we're here, how many power poles do we only have 2? Let's run over here to the mall real quick and grab some power poles. And we'll replace those wooden poles there with real power poles. And, get all these Roboports, powered up. Yeah, we've moved on. We've moved on from the wooden power poles. Yeah, I don't like the little feature. I mean, that's going to be my new Factorio complaint. I believe we're going to complain about the auto try to link up the power pole thing. I don't think the algorithm is quite doing what I want it to do. And that's the last time I want to mention it. I could gripe about things, and that's not me. That's not me. So we're not gonna mention that anymore. That's gonna be the last time. Okay, all that is set up with medium power poles. All that is set, and we have Roboports. That side is covered in the network for the most part. Let's go ahead and do the same over here. We cannot fit you in there because of that radar. That's okay. We can move that radar. Radar can be in multiple location. Let's see. Okay, that's a full square. That's pretty much good and covered for now. I do want to, however, get a Roboport on this side, because we do want to have our mall covered. And I'm going to have to put one right here as well, even though that's going to mess up the things. But we're going to have one there in order to feed robots into it. I guess I could run the belt down here. That would be borderline crazy, wouldn't it? This, however, would not be. Okay, let's get another look at that. That is right there. We need to start right there. And being that meticulous about it is not crazy at all. This is perfectly reasonable. Okay, except for that. Ooh, and there's not like an extra inch of room in there. We take it out one? Can. Let's see, is that 3 tiles? No, it's 4. Gotta do what you gotta do. There we go. Was it worth it? Yes, it was. Even though we can't exit out that red circuit anywhere. Except we totally can. All right. That works. That works. We're just not gonna look at that part of the factory. The Roboport fits, and that's all that matters. All right, does that cover our mall? I think it does. I think it does good enough. Good enough for now. All right, we've got some Roboport coverage. I do want to address one thing, and that is something that somebody pointed out in the comments, and I just want to go check on it here. Because it sounds like something I would do. And that is to check on this belt. Yes, sure enough, it was missing a belt there. That machine couldn't output. Not any danger of running out of blues anytime soon, but still, things like that bother me. How are we doing now that we've got all this open? Okay, we're getting this thing where it's only pulling on one side, which is kind of expected. But water is one of those things where we might want to consider turning it back on just to have it going. And we may want to just throw... We may just want to throw some more barrels on the system. Let's throw another 1,000 out there. We can set this to a multiplier real quick, and then switch it over to an adder to reset the timer. And mining productivity is done. Let's do personal Roboports. Seems appropriate. Okay, so we've got a bit of a stockpile of barrels up here. What is... Oh, I've got a whole bunch in my inventory. I put some chests up here to dump out some of these, like lubricant, and I have one down here for petroleum as well. And I can just throw water barrels in here. All right, and we'll throw empty barrels. We'll just give it a petroleum bias and lubricant as well. All right, so currently I don't have any water barrels making right now. And I want to... We'll just send those on for now. I want to make water barrels, but I want to control water barrels. So I think I want to do that with a circuit condition. Let's put in a couple of arithmetic combinators. And I want to set this one up as a counter. Counter right here. Read belt contents and not enable disable. Okay, so this is going to be a counter, just like we did before. We're going to take empty barrels plus 0 and output empty barrels. And that is going to count the empty barrels that go by. And I want to take that, send that to this arithmetic combinator. And I want the mod of that. Let's do mod 5. And output empty barrels. And we'll do a red wire going to this inserter, and we will enable it if empty barrels equals 0. Override stack size. of 1. All right, so before I turn this on, here's the idea for that. Let's go ahead and switch these inserters back on. So this is a counter. We're not going to put a limit on it or anything like that. We're not going to take away from it or anything like that. We're just going to just increase it. And it's just going to increase. It's going to be based off of this guy right here that's counting the belts or counting the empty barrels. So every empty barrel that goes by, it's going to count and it's going to increase this counter. This one is going to take the mod of that, mod 5 of that count. So basically what it's going to do is whatever this count is, it's going to divide it by 5, and the remainder is going to output that. So no matter what number this is, we're going to mod it by 5. That's going to give us a number, a remainder of a division by 5. Remember remainders? Those are the things you learned about in, like, when you were first learning to divide. And you kind of wrote them off to the side of your division problem, and then after 6 weeks you completely forgot they existed as you got into decimals. Those things, yeah, that's the remainder is what this operation does. And basically what it does, how this is useful to us is it takes this counter number, which is going to be a number starting at 0 and going up to however high Factorio goes. I'm assuming it's a 32-bit integer. But it's going to divide that by 5, and the remainder is going to be what is output from this. So this basically gives us a number between 0 and 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the possible values to come out of this, no matter what this value is. So this is what I'm saying by setting this up this way, and when only enabling it when that equals 0 is that I want you to take every 5th barrel. Every 5th barrel that comes by to 1, 2, 3, 4, he's going to grab one. 1, 2, 3, 4, he's going to grab that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, he's going to grab one of these. Oh, I somehow got off. But that's the whole idea. And if we look over here, we can see the input signal. It's going to constantly go up. And the output signal is going to stay a number between 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And basically, whenever we lose that signal, that's when he's going to grab. So for every 5 barrels that come through, we're going to turn one of them into water. And I think that's a good way to start that off. We're going to have to tweak that. I'm well aware of that. But I think we just need a lot more petroleum and lubricant than we do water right now, since we have more things using petroleum and lubricant than we do water. And I think that'll help keep it in check. At least some variation on that will keep it in check. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, we have a ton of petroleum. It's backing up quite a bit. Well, so is water. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that's just a good way to get those things moving. Okay, let's go over here and take a look at worker robot speed. Ooh. Okay, let's not go crazy with robot stuff. Let's see. Make sure that everything's okay. And we need yellow science for that. We can make yellow science? I assume if we have the technology for it, we can make it. Combat robotics. You know, I've never done anything with that. Maybe that is something we want to look into this playthrough as well. But first, I think what I'd like to do is get... let's get research speed. Let's play it safe. And let's take a look over here at our glorious robots. We do not have... Okay, yeah, we were going to do a new system here. All right, we have a ridiculous amount of these. Granted, we want construction robots. Okay, let's pull out the old logic. Put it on that inserter right there. And let's 100 construction robots I think is good for now. less than... Yeah, we'll just turn it off. We have, let's do 150. We'll increase it just a bit. So you can make 150 of those, and once we have 150, then we'll switch over to Logibots. I normally do a thing where I automatically put these guys into the network. I usually just feed them into a Roboport. I don't think I'm going to do that this playthrough. Just because... Do I only have that set to 10? That's not reasonable. Well, maybe it actually is. Let's do 25. And you're 10? Yeah, let's not do 10. Let's do 40 of you. And let's do 40 of them all. 50's too many, always. 40 seems to be a lot more reasonable. All right, we can get some of these. Let's go ahead and just set up some chests here. And we'll go ahead and get our logistics system up and running. Where'd they go? There's 31 of them. All right, so you are going to be... You. You're going to be there eventually, so we'll just go ahead and place them all. All right, we have logistics. We have some logistics. All right, those actually make pretty quick. Excellent. All right, we now have a logistical ball. That is excellent. We have all this stuff right here. It's covered completely. We just have no Logibots in the system, nor probably do we have any Logibots. 10. We have 10. All right, well, I was curious if these 4 machines were going to be up to the task. And I mean, we've got 130 robots right now, so I think that's going to be a pretty good pace. I mean, I think I made... I don't know, I'm impatient. I'm very impatient, and I made, like, I forget how many. I think it was like 10 of these machines last time. And there toward the end of the episode, we just had so many robots out in the system that I was devising traps and things like that to actually capture them and get them out of the system. Okay, let's do worker robot speed. But we have our 10 Logibots. Let's go ahead and put them in the system, and I like to release them that way. And wow, look how slow they're going. I forget how slow robots go when they first move. But yeah, we have that. We can set up logistic requests for things like, oh, I don't know. Let's get transport belt. Let's get 200 transport belt requested. And there they go. Look at them go. They're trying their hardest. I forget how useless they are at the start. It's like you're so excited to get robots. You finally have them. And, okay, they bump up a little bit. Those speed boosts are definitely worth it. Let's go for the next one. It's that important. It is that important. But we have robots. They're giving us stuff. And that is very, very excellent. Yeah, I didn't think we could make yellow science yet. All right, well, thank you very much for watching. We'll just sit here and watch our 10 robots try to fill us up on belt. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a good one.